What's up, guys? It's Bang and Dang, and we are the Mouthy Michiganders. We coming to you. we're coming to you for the third ever installment of our hit series, Outlaws and Gunslingers. The first one was all about Wild Bill Hickok. The second one all about the Dalton Gang. And the third one, we went from person to gang, and now we're here to city. And like we said at the beginning of this whole series, we're not just going to fucking start off this thing with Deadwood or Dodge City or Wyatt Earp, or we had to start it off with Wild Bill. I mean, had to kick it off with fucking the first fucking well-known gunslinger. But other than that, we're going to do fucking obscure shit that not many people have fucking heard of, or at least not the casual fucking people have heard of. And unlike WWE and wrestling in general, we cater to the casuals. So
to the nobodies.
To the nobodies, we're hoping to become somebodies. So yeah, all about this series, like I said,
To the unseen.
we go from the most notable figures or lesser known figures of the Wild West era, the lesser known or towns that you might know, the outlaws, the gunslingers, the lawmen, the Indian tribes, the cities, the gangs, and everything in between, the railroads, fucking everything that made up the Wild West, wild like it was. And those were our first two installments on this edition of Outlaws and Gunslingers. We got the probably little known town of Las Vegas, New Mexico. Have you ever heard of Las Vegas, New Mexico before today?
I can't say that I have. I might have, but
I think I might have heard. I think I might have known that there was a Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Maybe.
But I don't think I've ever heard of the outlaw fucking version of what you guys are about to hear. This one might be the longest one that we've done. There's actually a lot of stuff that happened fucking from the beginning of the town to the end. Well, not the end, because the town still fucking exists, but fucking till the end of the outlaw / Wild West era in the beginning of the 1900s. This town was fucking, this town was almost as deadly, well, probably, if you look at some accounts, more deadly than the known fucking deadly cities and towns of Dodge City, Tombstone, and Deadwood, and everything with Santa Fe, fucking all those types of city. But you guys have heard of Vegas, you never heard of Las Vegas, Mexico. Well, just botched that whole fucking thing, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Well, this Vegas was actually one of the more active and dangerous towns of all the Wild West, like I just said, though it's not as famous as the ones that I just mentioned. Some say this Las Vegas was just as wild, if not more than any of them. Name just about any notable figure from the Old West days, and they were in this town at one point or another. Fucking famous people popping up all over the place.
Popping up everywhere. Crazy, man. All right, so we're going to Las Vegas, Nevada, huh?
Vegas. No, not Nevada. We could probably go there afterwards.
We're going to Las Vegas, New Mexico. All right. So this town was originally called Nuestra Señora de los Dolores de Las Vegas Grandes.
Holy shit!
Are you fucking serious?
Damn.
Which means Our Lady of the Sorrows of the Great Meadows. That's cool. Let's see. They began in 1835 after some settlers were able to get a land grant from the Mexican Army. They were like, hey, man, we want this grant for this land. They're like, okay. They're like, hey,
well, keyword Mexican Army, so that tells you that New Mexico was Mexico.
Maybe that's why
Mexican territory at this point.
Maybe that's why it's called New Mexico. The city was built in a typical Spanish colonial style with, I want to go and see it now, with a plaza surrounded by buildings that acted basically as a fort and protected the city in case of attacks. I always love Mexican cities, little cities. You know, if you ever watch the movie or something, or
the pueblos and
yeah,
sand fucking houses, basically.
Well, like they just rethink here, man. Like the cities were like a fort.
Yeah, like a fucking town center that was surrounded by buildings and
fucking
shit.
Great, man. The city began to prosper due to being the only notable city in 600 miles. I mean, I guess you were pretty. That's like a fucking gas station out in the middle of nowhere. They can sell their gas for $10 a gallon,
and they're getting fucking money rolling in. Motherfucking snack cakes are fucking $1.25.
$1.25 for a snacky cake. Fucking the little packs of Wrigley gum that say 35 cents on them. They're like $5.
The motherfuckers put their own little fucking orange. It's always the orange stickers too.
They changed the cent to a dollar sign. $35.
Damn. All right.
For 5 pieces of gum.
I need me some Doublemint.
That's fucking $7 a piece.
Maybe some long-lasting gum.
It's $6.25 a piece or something like that. Let's see here. Oh, when people were coming from Kansas along the Santa Fe Trail, so 600 miles.
600 miles from the only notable city that had anything
from
worth
Kansas,
doing anything from
along
Kansas,
the Santa Fe Trail,
which led to fucking out to San Francisco and shit.
Yeah.
So fucking United States declares war on Mexico in 1846. Motherfucking General Stephen W. Kearny leads his army of the West to Las Vegas to claim it as a possession. It was typical United States. It's ours.
It's us.
Well, when he got there, he saw there was a busy-ass town, and there was like 1,500 Spanish settlers. He set up a few large cannons and pointed it at the plaza.
Damn.
The settlers were like, no. And
No.
so they surrendered and said, bye. The army stayed in Las Vegas, enjoyed the whiskey and women that the town had to offer until Fort Union was built about 20 miles to the north in 1851. Not only did the fort serve as protection of the town and the Santa Fe Trail, it also helped the growth and development of Las Vegas, as they fucking bought all their supplies for the hundreds of soldiers and the citizens who lived at the fort. And by 1860, Las Vegas had 1,000 people living there, which would quadruple in the next 2 decades. And that's just because of the fort fucking there.
Right.
So 4,000 people.
So Las Vegas, Nevada, fucking New Mexico, huh? Army took over and shit, and they're like, fuck it, we're gonna build a fort about 20 miles from here, guys, and we're gonna control this shit.
Oh, well, they stayed for about 15 years.
Yeah.
10, 15.
The railroad started making their way to the settlement in 1879. It was the largest city in between Independence, Missouri, and San Francisco. Damn. The train tracks were laid a mile to the east of Las Vegas on the other side of the Galanas River. They're like, fuck it, we don't want to go in town. We just want to go buy it. So which means fucking people coming in.
Well, it's because the city was...
people coming in on a train, dude, had a fucking a mile to a town.
The actual city, the city of Las Vegas was like in a hilly area, so I don't think they wanted to build train tracks there.
Yeah, you really don't want to. When the first train started rolling through the area, a station was built, and basically overnight there was a new town. Look at that. All does it need? What makes your town is a train station,
man.
It's true. You get a train station, you're fucking good. A bus stop, oh man. You get a bus stop and a train station, fucking airport, and you're really kicking.
And a church.
And a church, and a liquor store.
And a gas station, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta have a gas station.
Well, damn, you need a lot of things. I ain't starting a town anytime fucking soon.
It's not that many, though. Because you can do
a church, gas station, and fucking
liquor store.
Liquor store all in the same thing.
Yeah, right. And a laundromat.
That's true.
You can use a laundromat as a church.
A laundromat.
We
we call it the laundry chapel.
Brought to you by Sicko. Or STP or some shit. Let's see here. It started as tents and makeshift shacks, but soon permanent buildings took their place. It was like a fucking... I would love to see that from the beginning to fucking, setting up your tent. You're like, just imagine, honey. I don't know, Bill. Just imagine.
Trust me, in 2 years, this is going to be a house. This will be bustling with people.
General store and the saloon and the barber, the livery. livery,
Livery.
all that good stuff. This new town also had its own commercial district, and the new Las Vegas was now a rival with the old Las Vegas. Oh shit, which is now called West Las Vegas. New Las Vegas became so large that it rivaled cities like Denver, Tucson, and El Paso in size. Whoa,
Yeah.
okay. In 1881, New Las Vegas was incorporated as a city, while Old Las Vegas was incorporated as a town. The city soon had waterworks and a telephone company. Damn.
Motherfuckers, that train station fucking did it all. Well, 6 trains came through the station every single day.
I think that's why they did that. They're like, all right, they already have like a little settlement here, like a mile away, guys. Let's run this train track right here. All we have to do is build a fucking train station in this town. People seeing a train station are like, well, I'm not walking a mile to town. Let's set a tent right here.
Obviously. Why would you not?
Right.
Especially when 6 trains came through the station every day, which meant 6 canes. It meant plenty of legit businessmen looking for an opportunity in a booming town. With the good always comes bad, because also with access to the town, it made it so that numerous outlaws, thieves, con artists, murderers, etc. made their way into the city as well. Before long, the new Las Vegas,
You're gonna get it.
it was
You're
as
gonna get
lawless as any of the Wild West cities before it. To deal with this problem, peace officers were called in. This posse was known as the Dodge City Gang. So all of them had connections to Dodge City, obviously, hence the name. Although with members such as J.J. Webb, who was the marshal, Mysterious Dave Mather, Joe Carson, Dirty Dave Rudabaugh, and Hoodoo Brown. Hoodoo Brown. He was the justice of the peace. Some say, well, not some say, you'll see that they were just as lawless as who they came to police.
I mean, it's the same old story back then, man. Same old story.
Lawmen are outlaws.
It's fucking nuts, man. You don't know, man. You never know. I mean,
well, especially these guys that they fucking brought in were known to be shady and shit in the other cities that they came from.
It's like any other Western movie that you ever watched. It was always some fucking corrupt ass shit.
No lawman is, back in the day especially, was fucking straight anyways.
There's no way. Impossible.
They were doing something shady.
Yeah, but not as bad as the people they were fighting.
I mean, they were, well, right.
Somewhere.
So they were good.
No, they were good. So what if they fucking were pieces of shit?
So what if they just killed people for saying some things? I'm looking at you, Wild Bill.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. It was also the summer of 1879 that Doc Holliday rolled into town. He was like, yeah, look at this place. This is New Las Vegas.
New Las Vegas.
So he had Holliday coming into town with his partner, John Joshua Webb, who was by now also a member of the Dodge City Gang.
J.J. Webb.
Well, if he's running with Doc Holliday, I mean, he's guilty by association.
Doc Holliday wasn't a bad guy.
Wasn't he?
He was a dentist. He was a dentist.
He opened up a saloon on Center Street in typical Doc fashion. He got into an argument with a local gunman named Mike Gordon. He was like, Mike, spin his little guns around.
I'll be your huckleberry.
Then he grabbed his hanky and wiped his sweaty forehead.
He didn't have tuberculosis yet.
His mouth.
A little bit of blood. A little bit of blood on the napkin. Try to hide it.
Don't you worry about me.
Alone is going to be alone.
They went out into the street and Doc told him to start shooting, which he did.
Of course.
If you heard anything about Doc Holliday, you know what happened next. Gordon was killed with 3 shots to the stomach.
Damn. Doc Holliday didn't even aim for the head. He was
Right there.
right in your fucking stomach, bro.
Right there in the middle of the street. He's like, pow,
well, because
pow,
probably
pow.
it was on his hip.
Yep. And a lynch mob formed to hang Doc. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He took off and headed back to Dodge City. He said, fuck this shit.
He said left the saloon that he found and everything.
He's like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, it was actually Doc that uttered that first the first time.
Well, once in Dodge, he learned, and when he got back to Dodge, he learned that Wyatt Earp headed to Tombstone to strike it rich with silver. To which he followed.
He's like, damn, man.
He's like, I wish I would have known this 3 weeks ago.
Fucking ass is sore for riding on that horse so fucking much. Well, back to the Dodge City gang. Enough about fucking Doc Holliday. You'll hear about him soon enough. As stated before, even though the gang was brought in to help police the lawless city, they motherfucker, dude. They were brought in to help police the lawless city. They ended up being outlaws themselves. Soon after they arrived, they were in control of the city.
Of course they were.
Well, over these next 2 years, they were involved in train and stagecoach robberies, cattle rustling, and thought to have taken part in many murders and lynchings.
Well, I'm sure.
The gang consisted of Justice of the Peace Hyman G. Hoodoo Brown Neal, City Marshal Joe Carson, Deputy U.S. Marshal, and later the Las Vegas Marshal, Mysterious Dave Mather, Peace Officer Tom Pickett, Policeman J.J. Webb, Hard Cases Dirty Dave Rudabaugh, Salim K. Frank Caddy, Dutch Henry Bourne, William P. Slapjack Bill Nicholson, John Bullshit Jack Pierce, Jordan L. Webb, who was no relation to J.J., and various other notorious gunmen.
So, fucking J.J. fucking Webb stayed behind after Holiday fucking... Yeah. He was like, fuck this, I gotta stay, man.
He's like, I'm part of this fucking Dodge City gang
like,
now.
I didn't fucking shoot him. I didn't fucking kill the guy.
I didn't fucking kill him. I'm good. Well, J.J. Webb's not as citizen as you might imagine. Well, Rudabaugh, Katie, Nicholson, Pierce, Jordan Webb, and the rest would commit acts of thievery. Neil, Carson, Mather, and J.J. Webb, in their official capacities, because they're all like fucking, you know, were suspected of helping cover their tracks. So fucking, they're actually being police, but they're sending their little fucking their little minions out to do the fucking dirty work for them.
They can't be fucking dirty themselves.
Well, we'll see.
We'll
see.
Well, it's always somewhat justified. Well,
yeah, you got it bad. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I guess.
Well,
the first suspected robbery occurred just a couple months after arriving to Vegas, August 18th. Can I call it Vegas? Or do I have to call it Las Vegas?
You can call it Vegas in this context. I'm sure people by now know what we're talking about. They should.
It's fucking Vegas. On August 18th in Vegas, 1879, a robbery of a stagecoach near Tecolote.
Can you call it Tecolote or Tecolote?
Tecolote. I don't think it's Tecolote. It would have like a little swizzle on top of the E.
It might have. I don't know. I wrote it. So.
We're going to say Tecolote.
Tecolote. Yeah, whatever. It's in New Mexico.
Tecolote. New Mexico.
Fucking stagecoach robbery.
It was carried out by 3 men. John Clancy, Jim Dunnigan, and Antonio Lopez.
Why would it be done again? Wouldn't it be Dune?
Dune. Antonio Lopez. Chavez. Let himself a little.
It's not Chavez, but
I know, man.
People don't know.
Oh, that's right. Well, anyway, on the 18th of August in 1879, the stagecoach...
We apologize if you came here for straight-up history lessons, guys.
A stagecoach near Tecolote, New Mexico, was carried out by 3 men. John Clancy, Jim Dunnigan, and Antonio Lopez. They were arrested but not convicted. They're like, well, you really can't prove they're there. But we have a lot of people say that it's seen 3 people like you. We're like, well, let them go.
We're white. Everybody looks like us.
Right? Well, they had Antonio Lopez.
That's true, yeah. Well, I'm Mexican. Everybody. I'm Mexican. Everybody looks like us, eh?
You're like, that's true.
All right, go on your way.
The mustache and the hat.
And the hat. That bandana. They all wear those things, too.
On the 30th of August, though, that same year, 1879, a stagecoach was robbed by Frank Cady, Slapjack Bill, Bullshit Jack, and Jordan L. Webb.
No relation to JJ.
No relation to JJ. All were arrested again, just like the last 3, but they also were not convicted.
Just like the last 3.
Just like the last 3. Now there's more. So now okay. Now we can get more of this. So they put 4.
Well, these are other members of the gang.
On the 19th of October, so they waited at least a month and a half.
No. Oh, after that, but I'm saying between the first 2, there was only a week.
Yeah. Well, they at least waited a month and a half. 1879, October 19th. Maxed out men.
Maxed out men.
These motherfuckers are huge. Give me fucking money. Shit, man. Masked men robbed the train near Vegas and made away with $2,085. That's a lot of money. That's about
We do. That's a lot of money. Over 10 grand.
we already did this. 3 pistols. So they got $2,100, 3 pistols, and all the train's lanterns.
They're like, we need these bitches for when we ride.
There's 125 lanterns. How the fuck we gonna carry these on?
They're fucking lanterns.
We got 4 horses.
Right. Like, why would they even... How many fucking lanterns are these?
You can hear these motherfuckers coming. Fucking
click, 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 click.
It'd be more than that because it'd be 125.
They'd be like dragging chains fucking from the back of your car.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, fucking...
They come rolling into town.
You can follow them back to town because fucking the sack they're carrying the lanterns in makes such a deep fucking mark in the dirt the whole way.
Yeah.
It's like a trench. A trench is dug all the way to where they went.
Like it snowed.
What would they need with lanterns? I mean, whatever.
Well, fuck it. They got them.
Fuck. Maybe they could sell the copper or something, whatever they were.
A couple years later, in 1881, Dave Rudabaugh would confess to this crime as well as the August 30th stagecoach robbery, with Las Vegas Marshal Joe Carson and a man named Joseph Martin were a part of that one.
So there's your first inkling of Marshal Joe Carson fucking being a bad guy, huh?
Yeah, so why would that Rudabaugh guy confess?
Well, he was on capital fucking punishment charges in 1881.
He squealed.
And he squealed.
And still died, probably.
Well, we'll get to that. The town at this time was getting a bad reputation to be full of thieves and murderers. Fucking Miguel Otero of the Dodge City Times wrote that in 1 month, 29 men were killed in the Las Vegas area.
Damn.
The violence was only about to get worse as the most well-known incident to occur in Las Vegas was about to go down between the Dodge City gang and some drunk dudes walking in town.
I'm like, man, this is getting bad.
January 22nd, 1880, T.J. House, James West, John Dorsey, and William Randall were walking through the streets fucking just being assholes and fucking looking for trouble, calling people fucking assholes and motherfuckers. Well, they wound up at the Close and Patterson Variety Hall. And obviously, fucking any Wild West town back in the day, no fucking firearms in the city limits.
No.
Well, Mr. fucking Joe Carson comes in there and is like, guys, I want to check your firearms. They said, fuck you, and all hell broke loose. A gunfight broke out, and Marshal Carson was killed immediately. Deputy Dave Mather killed Randall and West.
Ooh.
Wounded, John Dorsey and T.J. House managed to escape. A couple weeks later, on February 5th, the gang learned that House and Dorsey were at a man named Juan Antonio Dominguez's house in Buena Vista, about 30 miles to the north. J.J. Webb, Rudabaugh, and 5 other men rode to get these bastards.
Uh-oh.
They surrounded the house and ordered them to surrender. Dorsey and House were assured protection from the citizens of Las Vegas, and they surrendered. Well, turned out they were fucking wrong, because when they were put in the jail, a group of vigilantes took their asses out of there, brought them to the windmill in the plaza to get fucking hanged. But get this, before they could, Mrs. Carson said, "You killed my husband!" and shot both of them.
Whoa!
Killing them both.
Damn.
They didn't even get to get hanged.
Would
you rather get hanged or shot?
We had a Lee Harvey Oswald incident. Who's the guy that shot him?
Fucking,
The fuck was his name? He had 3 letters too, wasn't it?
oh my gosh, how do I not fucking remember this guy's name? Lee Harvey Oswald was shot by fucking, oh my gosh. Jack Ruby.
Yeah, Jack Ruby. It was a 2-letter name.
A 2-letter name? Yeah, but Miss Carson said, "Fuck you guys, killed my husband." Just fucking shot him dead.
She's like, "My name is Mario.
You killed my husband. Prepare to die.
Oh, shit. Since Joe Carson was dead, Dave Mather was named Marshal, and J.J. Webb was named Police Officer. So, that worked out for them guys.
Yeah.
The Dodge City gang's time in Vegas was almost at its end. But not before another murder. They're like, fuck this, we're going out fucking strong here. March 2nd, 1880, Hoodoo Brown Hooter Brown.
Doo-doo Brown.
Hooter Brown heard there was a freighter in town. What's a freighter?
A freight driver.
I had no freight drivers.
Yeah, what do you think Wild Bill was? He drove fucking carriages. They were called freights. Freight.
Yeah, I guess why they freight is like all, right?
Freight is just fucking transporting shit.
Yeah, that's cool. There was a fucking transporter in town named Mike Kelleher. He was carrying about $1,900 in cash.
Well, what the fuck dumb motherfucker goes to a town like that, knowing the reputation by this time, and carries $1,900 in cash?
Right.
I mean, where else are you gonna carry
Right.
it though, right?
I mean,
It's not like they had fucking debit
You
cards
got
or something.
buried outside town somewhere. What the fuck?
Probably,
I
yeah.
would. I would.
Yeah.
The March 8th edition of the Ford County Globe reprinted this report from the Las Vegas Daily Optic. About 4 o'clock this morning.
Right. Breaking news.
Oh, shit. About 4 o'clock this morning, Michael Kelleher, in company with William Brickley and a man named Dodge City Gang. What? Oh. Anyway. Yeah, you guys get. So it said, 4 o'clock this morning, Michael Kelleher, in company with William Brickley and another man, a member of the Dodge City Gang, Goodlet and Ruberts. What?
You gotta read, man.
All right.
The other man was a member of the Dodge City Gang, and they entered Goodlet and Robert's saloon.
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning, Kelleher with William Brickley and another man from the Dodge City Gang entered Goodlet and Robert's saloon and called for drinks. They're like,
Give me
we
some
want
drinks."
drinks, damn it. They're like, no. They're like, yes.
Well, they said yes.
Well, they got him. Mike Kelleher appeared to be the leader of the party, and
Of course he did. He had the fucking cash in his pocket.
Yeah, and in violation of the law, had a pistol on his person.
Oh, what an idiot.
They're like, I give you a drink, but what's diet?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's my belt buckle. Sir, it's on your hip.
Well, that's a pretty bell buckle. Yeah, when they start clipping on the side. This was noticed by the officers who came through a rear door. They requested that Kelleher lay aside his revolver. Please, you got to give us a revolver.
Come on, man. No carry in the city.
He refused to. He said, no, I won't be disarmed. Everything goes.
Oh, shit. He's like, I'm ready.
Yep, put his hand right on his pistol, no doubt intending to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But Officer Webb was too quick for him. He was like, "Patoo!" The man was shot before he had time to even fucking pull his weapon out of his fucking holster.
You realize you're reading a newspaper clip, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Damn it. Let's start this whole thing all over again. No. News clipping.
Yes. This is from an official newspaper back in the day.
All right. About 4 o'clock this morning. About 4 o'clock this morning, Michael Kelleher, in company
What
with
is this?
William
What is
Brickley.
this fucking Unsolved Mysteries? Be on the lookout. They're considered armed and dangerous.
With William Brickley and another man, a member of the Dodge City Gang, entered Goodlet and Robert's saloon and called for drinks. Michael Kelleher appeared to be the leader of the party, and he, in a violation of law, had a pistol on his person. This was noticed by the officers, who came through a rear door, and they requested that Kelleher lay aside his revolver, but he refused to do so, remarking, I won't be disarmed. Everything goes, immediately placing his hand on his pistol, no doubt intending to shoot. But Officer Weber was too quick. The man was shot before he had time to use this weapon. 3 shots. Once in the breast, once in the head. Kelleher had $1,090.
Incorrectly reported. It was actually 1900.
Incorrectly reported. Somebody stole $820.
Yeah.
They're like, come on now, hand it over.
$910.
Kelleher had $1,090, which was wrong at the time of death, which really had $1,900 when he was killed.
Well, Webb was arrested even though it was said that Hoodoo Brown was the one who took the cash. So fucking Webb went down for that, and Hoodoo's like, I got the money, my name is Hoodoo. It ain't spelled doo-doo. It was after this incident that the citizens of Las Vegas had enough that said, I fucking had it with this violence and these corrupt-ass motherfuckers.
Done.
So they formed a vigilante group, posted this shit in the Las Vegas Optic.
Oh.
It says, 2 murderers, confidence men, con men, and thieves. The citizens of Las Vegas have tired of robbery, murder, and other crimes that have made this town a byword in every civilized community. They have resolved to put a stop to crime. If in attaining that end, they have to forget the law and resort to a speedier justice than it will afford. So they're like, I will kill you. All such characters are therefore hereby notified that they must either leave this town or conform themselves to the requirements of the law, or they will be summarily dealt with. The flow of blood must and shall be stopped in this community, and the good citizens of both the old and new towns have determined to stop it. If they have to hang by the strong arm of force every violator of the law in this country. Vigilantes. Signed Vigilantes.
Signed Vigilantes. We could do that. If that was like a fucking history fucking little thing you're watching in like school or something. You know how they showed stills and they had like music playing in the background? And this is what the letter wrote that he wrote, or whatever it is. Blah, 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 blah.
It's like yeah, I get it.
It's cool.
Well, after this notice was posted, Hoodoo Brown, Dave Mather, and the rest of the gang got the fuck out of town. They said, nope.
Yep, I think our time was up here, boys.
Although Dodge City Gang was finally out of town, that didn't mean Las Vegas was free of crime. In the late 1880s, the owner of the Imperial Saloon, named Vicente Silva, secretly headed a cattle rustling gang with many times entire herds disappearing. Oh. They called themselves the Silvas, Whitecaps, the 40 Bandits, or the Society of Bandits. These motherfuckers didn't even know who they were. They would meet at Silva's Saloon and continue their operation up until 1892, when the citizens of Vegas hanged one of their members, Pat Mays. The group disbanded shortly after that, and Silva was eventually murdered by his former gang members in 1895.
Shit just fucking broke down. They were like fucking turning on each other.
Respected member of the community, though, secretly fucking stealing everybody's cattle.
All right.
How do you just steal a whole herd? I don't understand that.
It's fucking crazy. Well, they got their fucking. They lasted a while, but they got their demise. I wonder how old they were.
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah. As for the members of the Dodge City Gang, well, most of them suffered the fate that you would expect in those days. While some made it to old age, others passed very ripened for the pick. Ripened for the picking. Ripe for the picking. Dutch Henry Bourne, more often called Dutch Henry, was an outlaw.
Dutch is coincidentally the name of the lead guy on Red Dead Redemption.
Dutch?
Yeah.
Dutch.
Wait, what is it? Is it Red Dead Redemption? Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Dutch, yeah, Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. Dutch Henry was an outlaw and one of the most prevalent horse thieves of the Old West. He eventually was sent to prison for stealing mules in Arkansas. He's like, fuck stealing horses. I want to steal me a jackass.
Muse? Well, that's a donkey.
The same thing.
Mules are a donkey and something mixed.
Yes.
Donkey and a horse or something.
When he was released, he lived a clean life. He was like, fuck those fucking whatever you want, horses, mules. I'm done.
Fuck all that.
I'm done. I'm marrying and I'm coming a father, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
He died of pneumonia on January 10th, 1921 in Pagosa Springs, Colorado.
Well, Hoodoo Brown was a justice of peace in Las Vegas. Neil fled to Texas, then Kansas, before arriving in Leadville, Colorado, where he was allegedly killed in a gambling dispute. Salim K, Frank Cady, unknown what happened to him.
Nobody
Joe
knows.
Carson, you know what happened to him. He was killed in that shootout that we previously mentioned.
Poor guy. You got Mysterious Dave Mather, U.S. Marshal and Las Vegas Marshal.
Mm-hmm.
Mather returned to Dodge City, Kansas, where he served as Assistant City Marshal.
So this motherfucker was involved in shit in Las Vegas, came back to fucking Dodge.
And was like,
I want to be Assistant City Marshal.
I'm gonna be cool. I'm cool here, right? You ain't done nothing here.
Yeah.
Leave that shit in Vegas.
He's like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? That's what
like,
Doc Holliday said.
They're like, that's right. He served in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Well,
Damn.
he moved to Canada.
Yeah,
after.
he went to fucking Vancouver. He was like, fuck it, I want to be a Mountie. Where he's still seen in the royal blue and red as late as 1920.
So this motherfucker just was, he lived a great life. I don't know, Dave Mather. Oh, William P. Slapjack Bill Nicholson, unknown what happened to him, but Tom Pickett. Pickett was arrested with Billy the Kid.
Of course.
And Dirty Dave Rudabaugh. So Dave Rudabaugh goes on to fucking ride with Billy the Kid after this.
Nice.
On December 30th, 1880, he was released on a $300 bail and soon drifted to Arizona, where he worked with the Hash Knife Outfit. Later, he would serve a short stint as a U.S. deputy marshal. He died of old age at Winslow, Arizona on May 14th, 1934. Nice. Tom Pickett.
A long life.
Bullshit Jack, unknown. And Dirty Dave.
Dirty Dave Rudabaugh.
Well,
man.
we both know we all know that he escaped with J.J. Webb from the Las Vegas town jail. We don't know that because I just told you.
Now you do.
He was arrested with J.J. Webb, y'all remember. And they escaped from the Old Town jail in late 1881. Rudabaugh and Webb raced to Texas and then to Mexico, where Webb disappeared.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fucking gone.
On February 18th, 1886, Rudabaugh was shot by two men in a dispute over a card game in Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico. So later he was jumped, decapitated, and had his severed head carried around on a pole for the next several days.
Wow.
It makes sense. They were even fucking back in the late 1800s. They were fucking decapitating people.
Fucking crazy. Well, six-shooter Bill Smith, a.k.a. John Henry Jenkins. California Jim.
John, what the fuck? How many nicknames this motherfucker got?
Right. They say he was born.
He was maybe born in 1850.
Maybe somewhere around there. We're gonna say from 53 to whenever to 1882. A gunman and petty outlaw. He was a petty outlaw. This motherfucker would do anything.
He was just
Yeah, he enjoyed wounding people without killing them. He was walking down the street, shoot people in the
he's
toes.
like a cat.
Shoot
Playing
people's
with
trigger
a
fingers off.
mouse that's injured.
He shot his trigger finger off. Yeah, and shoot people's ears off and shit like that.
Making them dance.
Cutting their tongues out and shit. I don't know. Ripping people's toenails off. Well, he was like, fuck it. Fucking with some people one day. And they said, fuck it, man.
It's time for you to die, six-shooter.
Time for you to die, six-shooter Bill Smith, a.k.a. John Henry Jenkins, California Jim. I challenge you to a duel. And he was shot in a gunfight in Cibolo, Texas.
Well, I don't think it was a duel, but
In August 1882.
either or, J.J. Webb, along with Dave Rudabaugh, broke out of jail, like we just said. Went to Texas. Webb disappeared. Later, Webb was in Kansas, where he took the name Samuel King. He died in Winslow, Arkansas, of smallpox in 1882.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody died in 1882.
Yeah, most of them.
That's crazy.
And Jordan L. Webb, no relation to JJ. It's unknown what happened to that guy.
Unknown. He wasn't worthy. All right. Well, though, in 1898, the town had finally settled down. These motherfuckers were like, fuck, man. Can we, like, let the kids play now? Like, shit. Fucking ridiculous. Well, the town is actually like a fucking normal town.
It was a town.
It was a normal town, including an electric street railway, the Duncan Opera House at the northeast corner of 6th Street in Douglas, northeast.
I caught it, motherfucker.
Son of a bitch.
And with this new mic, everybody's catching it.
At the northeast corner
There
of
you go.
6th Street.
But still, streets.
6th Street and Douglas Avenue, a Carnegie Library.
These motherfuckers had it all, man.
The Hotel Castaneda.
The hostel.
Castaneda, a major Harvey House.
Harvey House was like a popular chain of hotels back in the day.
They also had a New Mexico Normal School, which is now the New Mexico Highlands University.
That'll come into play later as somebody famous actually went to school there.
Ooh. The city also provided Teddy Roosevelt with 21 men for his Rough Riders group.
Yeah, everybody knows old
"Hey,
Teddy
yo,
Roosevelt's
Teddy,
Rough Riders.
You go, Teddy, take these people. He was like, okay. Beginning in 1899, the city held the Rough Riders reunion, with the first one being attended by Roosevelt himself. Mm-hmm. The last reunion was held in 1969. They also,
I think the last member of the Rough Riders died in 1974, I want to say. So by then, they were all gone.
man, what are you gonna do, man? Done with. They also hold a cowboy reunion where the ranching life is celebrated. The two cities would incorporate into one in 1970.
So it took all those years until 1970, and they were like, fine. It was probably old Las Vegas, too. It was like, no, we were first.
They're first, but you guys are like, have all the good stuff. So.
I'm sure like the gap between the two cities eventually closed with
Right.
more buildings and all that good stuff.
The new Vegas expanded too.
Old Vegas.
We're already pushed up in the hills. We can't go any higher.
Well, present day Las Vegas has a population of 15,000
Wow.
and is one of the lesser known tourist destinations in New Mexico, with over 900 buildings on the National Register of Historic Places.
Holy shit.
You can relive the Old West days with many of the era's buildings still in operation.
Really?
Even though the city is safe today and a good place to take your family for a visit, with everything we just went through.
Is it? They say that about everywhere.
And with the likes of aforementioned Doc Holliday, Big Nose Kate, Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Bob Ford, Wyatt Earp, Rattlesnake Sam, Cockeyed Frank, Web-Fingered Billy, Hook-Nosed Jim, Stuttering Tom, Durango Kid, Handsome Harry and the Dance Hall Wrestler, Vicente Silva, and his gang,
Oh, man.
and Bill Sidens, they all visited that city at one time or another. It's no wonder why historian Ralph Emerson Twitchell once claimed that, without exception, there was no town which harbored a more disreputable gang of desperados and outlaws than did Las Vegas. That's the fucking town of fucking Las Vegas, New Mexico. And as Dang's over here looking up the satellite view of Las Vegas, New Mexico, for pictures and background info on some of the people in this episode, you can go to legendsofamerica.com and search Las Vegas, New Mexico, and it will have tons of stuff there, including pictures, fucking old and recent, and information about anything else. If you want to see Las Vegas on the big screen, several movies were shot there, including, this might surprise you, because I didn't know, the city is used as the fictional town of Calumet, Colorado in what movie? You remember where Calumet, Colorado is?
What?
The city is used as the fictional town of Calumet, Colorado in the movie Red Dawn. Most of the 1994
Really?
film...
Yeah, Colorado, Dawn. I get it.
But New Mexico? Okay.
Yeah.
But most of the 1994 film Wyatt Earp starring Kevin Costner was shot here. Several scenes from John Carpenter's Vampires were shot in the plaza. Scenes from Wild Hogs, you know, the fucking movie with John Travolta and what's his name, fucking riding on the motorcycles. Most of No Country for Old Men was shot here. Toby Keith and Rodney Carrington's music video for Beer for My Horses was shot in Las Vegas as well. Scenes from Due Date starring Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis and many, many more.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also some notable people from Las Vegas who are either from there or lived there at one point.
What? Patrick Swayze had a ranch there?
Eddie Guerrero wrestled
yes.
for Mexico Highlands University in Las Vegas. Patrick Swayze had a ranch.
I knew he had a ranch in New Mexico. I didn't think it was near Vegas.
Near Las Vegas. And a few other teachers and writers were also born here that were notable for fucking being teachers and writers.
Notable for being strippers and...
But
writers.
yeah,
Strippers
that
and writers.
was Outlaws and Gunslingers, all about fucking Las Vegas, New Mexico, the other Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't it be, which came first? Well, this Las Vegas came before the other Las Vegas, so.
You think so?
I know so, because Las Vegas was started by fucking the gangsters in the early 20s and shit.
I don't know about that.
Look up fucking Las Vegas, Nevada, and see when it was founded. Guarantee it was after this Las Vegas. This Las Vegas was founded in 1835. No way Las Vegas, Nevada was back then.
1835? I'd say so. Oh, wow. It was founded in 1905.
What I just said.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, they took that name from fucking this name. But yeah, that's Las Vegas, New Mexico.
The original Las Vegas.
The original Las Vegas, too. So Las Vegas, Nevada is not even the second Las Vegas. It's the third, technically. So that's Outlaws and Gunslingers, New Mexico. The city of Las Vegas, New Mexico. And if you're interested in this stuff, this is the first time you're hearing Outlaws and Gunslingers by the Mouthy Michiganders, go check out our other episodes. We got 2 other previous ones. Wild Bill Hickok was our first one. The Dalton Gang was our second one. We also do wrestling. Not modern day wrestling, because that shit sucks.
That shit sucks.
But we do what we call the Monday Night Award Show.
There are 4 cities named Las Vegas in the entire world. The following map and table of contents, we don't know about that. There is the first one ever be created was in Nevada, the Las Vegas, Nevada. That's not right. Not the first one. It's the most populated. Sorry. So you got Las Vegas, Nevada, Las Vegas, New Mexico, and you got Las Vegas, Honduras, and Las Vegas, Venezuela. That's it. No other Las Vegases. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, since we learned that about how many Las Vegases there are, we also do what we call a Monday Night Watch Along, where we went back from the first episode of Monday Nitro way back in 1995 and watch every main event from Raw and Nitro, and also every pay-per-view in between, and give them a score of 1 through 10 for the crowd, the match, and every say the NWO comes out and beats the shit out of somebody, that would be called extracurricular activity. So we give that a score of 1 through 10 as well. And Nitro's up by a fucking lot to a little. And fucking, that's what we do. We do some sports stuff, sports history mainly, but that's unfortunately coming to an end pretty soon, so we're going to have to think of something else. But if you're a new person only listening because of these Outlaws and Gunslingers episodes, go check out some of our other stuff, because
check it out.
If you thought this was entertaining, it's basically the same thing as this, but with sports or fucking wrestling or whatever else that we're fucking talking about. Stay tuned for some more watch-alongs.
Spewing a bunch of garbage.
A bunch of garbage.
Oh,
also Lee and Corey on the case, but it's not Lee and Corey on the case no more. It's called Lee and Giovanni on the case. And who knows when those guys are coming fucking back and doing something.
Well, you gotta give them time, man. Corey's missing.
Look up past episodes of that, because I'm not getting into that right now. But yes, that's all the stuff that we do. And nothing else to say besides we are the Malta Michiganders with
Night Night!